What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Jammin with J Money. We back. We hot. It's another day. The bookies paying for all the Christmas presents, man. I'm feeling good, man. Ready to get to some more cash today. How was your how are everything going with you, Junior?
I'm good. I had two plays yesterday. They both lost. One of the few times this season that I didn't get a single win. But I mean, obviously, those are just my official plays. I play things later on, so not that bad. But try to have a good day today. I have five plays on the day, so just trying to start cashing some tickets again. Getting to this money as usual. I'm not sure Jordan's going to be on today, but we got a few games to go over. So I'm gonna follow your lead as usual, and let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna toot my horn too much, man, but I can't say. I mean, if y'all listen to those college picks, man, I hope y'all did. I hope y'all wrote them down or something. I think it was what 4-1. I told you about Hofstra. They was 3.5 point dogs. They won their game by 15. Castell. When I told you Duke, I told you a lot of people was liking Wofford in that spot. Duke smashed them by 29 points. There was two of them. What's the other one? I gave you. I did stay off of Maryland. I'm glad I did. Everybody in the world was on Maryland because of Seton Hall, mostly because of Miles Powell out, but they had another starter out as well. They took everybody's money in that spot. Let me see. I didn't give you guys Utah. I did mention South Alabama. That was the one that did lose, but the other one's NC State. I was on this shit big, man. Plus 7.5. I got super lucky there, because it was 79-71, and then a layup by NC State with like 1 second left got me to cover in that one. But hey, I'll take it all day. I've been screwed off those times, so. Nice little 4-1 day yesterday, man. And in college basketball was a real nice day. Then on to the NBA, man. Shit. Once again, I told you boys, man, about the Hawks. I told you guys that the Hawks were the right side in that one. I did end up playing that one. I ended up getting the +7. And I also said the Hawks in the first half as well. If I'm not mistaken, they cashed the first quarter, first half, and the full game. And they go cash the first half money line. So, like I said, I hadn't been playing the first half, so I'm not going to stunt. I mean, I didn't play that one, but I was on the Hawks there full game. Gobert missed last 4 free throws. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. I mean, a lot of people say you got lucky. I mean, hey, I need luck on my side sometimes, man. He missed the free throws. Hey, we got the cash. Let's see. Did the under hit it? I didn't get the under. Now we only had 4 games yesterday, but still it was a nice day. I was all over the Spurs, man. Max the Spurs. I told you guys, me and my baby mama's brother, whatever, we was all on him, man. He told me, man, I'm finna max the Spurs out. I was like, man, don't do it. I'm max to leave a little bit in there. He was like, fuck, I'm finna do it. You know what I'm saying? We were sweating it, but fourth quarter they came and did what they did. I told them they was gonna falter in this. They was gonna come back in the second half. I told them they were gonna win by 5. They ended up winning by 13. Damn good game there by the Spurs. And that Rockets and Clips there, I don't have a whole lot to say about it, but if there was any game that's fixed, man, that was it. The Clippers, obviously, the Clippers were up by a lot with them. There was 17-16 in the first half, up 15 at the half. Come out, oh, something wrong with the rim. Ain't nothing wrong with the rim, man. But I can't tell you the foul calls I saw now on PG not getting his foul calls. The foul on Russell Westbrook with Lou Williams. I mean, he had got all ball there, and the refs just didn't have any.
Preach.
They didn't want to hear anything. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, get out of here. You're not finna make me look bad. That was an absolute, it's terrible calls in that game. Like I said, I wasn't huge on the Clippers or anything. But still, that was a tough game there, man. Didn't cast the under in that one as well. That one did go up. That one did go over by 3.5 points. But that was a crazy game if you watched it, man. A real crazy game, I must say, because the Clippers even took the lead late during the fourth quarter. And then what happened? Rockets just come back. I mean, you had to give them credit. And Russell Westbrook went off last night where he had 41 points. So I know I was talking about his broke shot or whatever, but it was a crazy game, man. That Bucks Lakers. I told you I was staying away from the Lakers there, man. Last game of road trip, but whoever wanted to take the Lakers there yesterday, be my guest. Bucks did almost let it slip away, but final score on thing that matters. So anything you want to say about the Rockets and Clippers game, Junior? I don't know. I know if you watched it, there was some crazy calls in that game.
It's funny. I'm glad that you said that because I had the Clippers. I thought that was an easy, in the first half. They were up like 15 points going into the half or something like that. I thought that was an easy cash. But unfortunately, the Rockets ended the game on like a 15-4 run. Made some pretty big shots. James Harden had, listen, it only matters how you close. So it doesn't matter that they were up a lot. The Rockets did what they had to do, but that's a real rivalry. Like, I hope that these two teams meet each other in the playoffs because they obviously hate each other. You saw Doc Rivers referenced the old incident where they tried to fight back in the locker rooms. They tried to get in through some tunnel or some nonsense. So I love real rivalries because there's not too much of that left in the NBA, like the old days where teams really hated each other to the point that they would fight. Not to say I condone fighting, but I condone high intensity in competition. So that's always fun for us fans. But enough about yesterday, because at the end of the day, those two games were big games. But regular season is one thing, playoffs is another. People are already crowning Giannis that he's better than LeBron and Anthony Davis because he won one game. Listen, if Giannis is going to make threes, then he probably is the best player in the NBA. But as far as I'm concerned, the way we all grew up watching basketball, until you do something in the playoffs, got to kind of chill on that best player talk. He hasn't even gotten out of the second round yet. He probably will this year, but until then, we talked about it before the show, J Money. How dominant was Anthony Davis in that game too? He looked amazing, honestly.
Yeah, he did, man. And now, hey, they, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Rich Paul saying, hey, if Anthony Davis was on that Bucks team last year, man, they would have won. If they would have hit the finals, man. Show a little picture of Anthony Davis in a Bucks uniform. Never know, man. Never know. But yeah, he's the unstoppable player. I can't say he's the team. He's the engine for their team right now, man. That's why if AD is ruled out, I'll be fading the Lakers whichever time he's out. Just LeBron, the rest of the team, I don't think that it's enough to get past like a really good team. You saw it versus the Pacers, but yeah, they really needed AD last night. Even, you know what I'm saying, if he wasn't 100%. But on to today's games. And I see you in the chat, Prophet. I see you in the chat. I told everybody that the Hawks was the right side. So whether I played it or not, it's still cash. So if you listen, so my job is to give you guys the NBA content. If you want, I'll show you. I'll video you if you want of me going to go pick up my cash today. Cashed out 4 bands yesterday, so I don't have to show you guys really anything, to be honest with you. Big stacks, and I'm not going to even show you on here, man. But let's get to it today's Junior. Let's get to today's card, man. I want to talk about this first game, and I wish Jordan was here to talk about, because he probably would be going head to head to me. I saw Tony exactly, Jay Patel, exactly. But I know I saw Tony on SBR. So he's on the Pacers today. I don't think that the Pacers the right side in this game. I know they have won 4 straight games. Is the totals. I mean, it's moving up to 5, and I love it. The Kings, they don't look so good right now, do they? Oh, Fox came back. They lost to Charlotte. They've had a couple of days off. The Kings are 11-5 ATS on the road. They're 4-0 ATS last 5 road games versus a winning team. And you look at the Pacers. Oh, Lamb and Warren doubtful in this spot. When you look at they had a huge game versus the Lakers. Who do they have next? They have the Bucks. You know what I like to call that? That is a huge sandwich spot. And it's not. You could look at it just a letdown game from the Lakers, but you look at that they have the Bucks next. This is a classic sandwich spot for me. When I saw Lamb and Warren were doubtful, and the Kings with a full go here, I think that the Kings could possibly win this game. I like them plus the 5 in this spot. Any thoughts on that, Junior?
Yeah, Jordan just messaged that he's about to be on the show, so we'll probably get his opinion in a second. Me personally, I lean Kings. I actually, in the morning, at first, when I looked at this game, I thought that 4.5 was a pretty good price for the Pacers. But the truth of the matter is that the Pacers are not a team that has a superstar while Victor Oladipo's out. So they do it, like I like to say, by committee. And if you're going to take out T.J. Warren, and another starter, that's just not going to work, because Jeremy Lamb is actually, for this team, really important, not just offensively, but defensively. T.J. Warren actually doesn't even really play any defense. So Jeremy Lamb not starting is a huge problem for them, because if you look at the way Sacramento's made up, they're a perimeter-oriented team. I know Bagley's back, but for some reason your boy, Luke Walton, has Bagley coming off the bench. I don't understand what that's about, but I would still lean Kings, especially because they have De'Aaron Fox back. De'Aaron Fox back, obviously off the bench too, but that makes more sense because he's just coming back from like a really long layoff. But the Bagley De'Aaron Fox combo with the Warren and possibly Lamb being out, I don't like this spot for the Pacers at all. Actually, I would take the points with the Kings there.
Exactly, and alone from, so the spot I think it's a bad spot for the Pacers, sandwich spot. And like you say, I mean, if Lamb and Warren's not in there, man, I know they are listed. I know Lamb is doubtful, and Warren is a question. But me personally, like I said, with the Bucks game up on deck, I think that both of them are not going to play. I mean, you're probably gonna have the Holiday brothers in there. You're gonna have less production off the bench, And so with the Kings coming off their last game versus the Hornets, I just think that this is a nice spot, sneaky play here for the Kings here, plus the 5. Even if they don't win, I think it's a winnable game for them. If they don't win the game, I could definitely see this one being a last possession game. I'm getting 5 points. And I think it's a bad spot for the Pacers, but especially, so I would be looking against the Pacers even if Warren and Lamb were in there. Let's put it that way. And if those two starters are out, that's big. Like you say, Lamb is a damn good perimeter defender, and TJ Warren doesn't play a whole lot of defense, but he's a damn good scorer on offense. I think that's going to be missing a lot if those two don't play, and I don't think they will. I like the Kings in this spot. Do we got Jordan back yet or what? Because I know Jordan want to say a few things about his Pacers team. Rock, but we can get Jordan in here. He say he's ready if you give him a call. Do you have something on this Celtics game real quick, Junior?
Yeah, actually, I got 2 plays. I got Celtics first half minus 4.5. I got them full game. Supposedly, Blake Griffin and Luke Kennard are questionable. So you're talking about the 2 best playmakers that they have, and pretty much their 2 best scorers, other than Derrick Rose. I just think that would be too much to overcome against the Celtics at home, who only allow like 102, 103 points a game to their opponents at home, and the Pistons, even healthy, only score 106 points a game on the road. That's not going to be enough to beat the Celtics team. I don't like that Smart is out, and I think Gordon Hayward has a bit of a foot problem. But with that being said, I just think that the way that the Celtics go about their business, they don't really rely on any one player. Browne and Tatum are in, and Walker's in. That's enough for me. I just think that they'll definitely cover the 4.5 in the first half. The 9 in the full game, I don't love it. Trust me. But the truth of the matter is the Pistons are not a good road team. And I just don't like this spot for them without Griffin and Kennard against this Celtics defense.
Yeah, I can understand that. Me personally, I'm staying away from it. I don't like the fact that Hayward's out. I don't like the way Boston looked in the first half versus the Mavs. In my opinion, they damn near could have lost that game if it weren't for them surging in the second half, and the Mavs just couldn't make a shot down the stretch there. I don't like the way no Smart and no Hayward. If they had them both in here, I can't say. And I just got those Celtics 10s too, them white, green, and black ones. I hadn't even put my foot in them yet. I definitely be wearing those today and be wearing Celtics green. But I can't say I'm not on this game. The only way I could look at is the under. I hadn't played it yet, but that's the only way I could look. With Luke Kennard and Griffin are a big part of their offense, especially Kennard. He's damn near like another point guard out there. I'm pretty sure you agree with that, Junior. I watched the Pistons a couple times. I'm like, I like Luke Kennard. I like the way he played. You know what I'm saying? But with
Jay,
him missing out there, that's what you say. What you gonna say, Junior?
Luke Kennard, people forget, bro. First of all, when Luke Kennard played at Duke, he was the leading scorer on the team. And I know that wasn't a great Duke team, but if you go to the University of Duke and you led the team in scoring, you're not a scrub. You're at least probably going to make the league. It took him a little while to get used to it in the league, but even in high school, he was an All-American. So this is a guy who has a lot of talent. And I think that you're 100% right. I think that, Derrick Rose averages 6 assists a game, but that's just because his usage rating is so high. You know what I mean? Like, those guys get a lot of assists with a lower usage rating. And I think that they have that dual threat of being able to score and they're playmakers for their team. If you're missing 2 of your best playmakers and scorers out of your lineup, and you only score 106 points a game on the road anyway, I just don't see how they get a lot of points against this Celtics defense, who they play well against everybody. Like, it doesn't matter who the competition is.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And I'm going to flip it over. And I like this. I watched the Celtics versus the Mavs. And I mean, the Pistons aren't a great defensive team, but they still got players like Bruce Brown, Langston Galloway, Tony Snell, and Andre Drummond. I mean, that's 4 stars right there. I feel like all of those are defensive players. Bruce Brown, in my opinion, he's a total defensive player. Same thing with Galloway. Maybe can hit some threes. Tony Snell as well. Okay. Appreciate that, Robert. Tony Snell. I mean, these are defensive players. I think this is going to be a defensive game, man. I like the under in this spot, man. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get there as well. I think the under is the right side in this game, regardless of the side. Me personally, I'm not touching Boston there, and I know that Kennard and Griffin is out, but Detroit's still off a couple of losses. I don't like that versus the Raptors. They couldn't take it. They couldn't take advantage of of the three players going out, Siakam, Gasol, and Powell. I don't like that. I mean, you should have probably came back and won that game, man, but it's all good. But in this particular spot, the Celtics come back to the house laying 9 without Gordon and Smart. I don't really like it because their offense really seemed really stagnant. It was Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kemba Walker who had to go and win that game versus Dallas. If one of those three are off, it's going to be a tough offensive night for him. And I think this game could possibly go with below 200 points, man. I like the under here, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get there before the game time. Like I say, all of my plays I've been making lately, I haven't been betting on the internet. I hadn't been betting on the internet. I just been betting at the parlay spots, man, here last second. You know what I'm saying? So all of my plays I've been making right before the game start, man. So I'll tell you guys what I'm liking or what I'll probably be on, but you know what I'm saying? You probably won't know what I'll actually end up hopping on, man. But I definitely love the under in this spot, and I think it's gonna hit. What's up, Jordan? I need you to say a few things about this Pacers spot, man. You on the Pacers, Jordan?
I am not on the Pacers. Sorry for the delay, fellas. Appreciate you waiting for me tonight. The biggest thing for me with the Pacers tonight is we just don't know T.J. Warren and Jeremy Lamb's status just yet, and I think those two are extremely important to this team simply because they're their two best outside threats from the wing, and if one or both of those guys are missing, yeah, they got Justin Holiday. They got guys that can bring off the bench that are going to be able to, fill that void a little bit from a three-point shooting perspective. But Lamb, especially Warren, or especially Lamb, but Warren as well, pretty adequate defenders as well. I think that's the biggest decrease if those two guys miss that you'll see from the Pacers tonight. So it's just a little bit of a crazy spot. I think Bogdanovich is injured for the Sacramento too. He's questionable from what I can tell last. So just really kind of a strange spot for Indiana. A spot I'd be on them, but the total or we've already seen some steam them down from 5 to 4.5, which is not a great indicator to me. I think if there is a play on this game, I think I might be leaning towards the over. I haven't got there just yet, but 207.5 is not a whole lot of points for both of these teams who can hit some shots from the outside. And we, of course, know that Sacramento's got their two best players back in Marvin Bagley and De'Aaron Fox, even though they aren't really playing up to their full minutes just yet. Just a lot of mismatchy issues that I think could be a problem for Indiana, especially on that side. Sacramento does play slowly, but I think Indiana will force them to play up in pace a little bit in this game, at least faster than what they're used to. So with that in mind, I think the over could be the play, but I'm really going to wait and to see what the status of those injured guys are first before I make a play on this one, I think.
Exactly. I love that breakdown, Jordan. And honestly, I'm glad to hear that you're not on the Pacers, man. I am. I like the Kings in this spot. And I can't say with the Bucks game coming up, I don't think that Lamb is doubtful. I definitely think that he's not playing. Okay. Warren is questionable. I don't think neither one of them are going to play, to be honest with you, with the injuries they have, with the game that they just came off of and the game that they have ahead, Jordan. That was my angle, that it's a classic sandwich spot. You're coming off a huge game versus the Lakers there. Oh, who do they have on deck? They got the Bucks. I appreciate you guys won 4 straight, but the King coming off a loss. They got Fox back. Now, the main thing that I did need to say about this, I need to see about, but I need Bogdanovich coming off the bench for the Kings there. I need him. He is questionable here. I hope that he does play. If Bogdanovich in, Warren and Lamb out, I'm going to take the Kings for sure, plus the 5. I'm sprinkling on the money line. I need Bogdanovich to be ruled in. I'm pretty sure Lamb and Warren going to sit with this huge game coming up next, man. A game where I think it's going, you know what I'm saying, it could be kind of damn near a fight for the top of the East, man. The Pacers aren't no pushover now. They see what the Bucks doing. Like, you know what? We want to show what we got against this team. I think this is a clear look ahead spot, clear sandwich spot, and I think it's a little sneaky spot for the Kings here. Y'all know what we're going to do. We're gonna sprinkle on the money line. I do have to bet online for that. I can't do that with my local, man. But let's get to the next game, man. I don't have much to say about the Cavs and Grizz. Jordan, do you have a play on that game?
I do not. No, that's probably my least favorite game of the night. So if you guys want to gloss over that one, move to some better one, more than willing.
Yep, I'm cool with that. I know a lot of people are going to be on the Grizzlies here. I'll just tell you that I know the Grizzlies have been playing really well lately, but I'm not a fan of them laying points on the road whatsoever. They're road fave. So, I mean, I know that they're technically better than the Cavs, but are you going to trust them laying points on the road? You like the Grizzlies as a dog, not when they have to win the game by margin, So that's just me personally, my take on it, and everybody's going to be on the Grizzlies today. I can definitely tell you that. I want to talk about this Wizards and Raptors spot with my guy, Junior, man. That's what I want to talk about. But Junior, just real quick, did you have anything on the Grizzlies and Cavs? I'm pretty sure you didn't, though. But if after that, you can bring us into the Raptors and Washington, or tell us what you got to say about the Wizards and Raptors game.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the Grizzlies have been looking like a much better basketball team in their last 6 games. They're 4-1 ATS in their last 5, and they've gotten like a lot of contributions from like different guys. They got John Morant. He scored 20 a game on 55% from the field and getting 7 assists. He's just a really good player. They got Dylan Brooks scoring 19 a game. Brandon Clark scoring 20 a game. They look pretty good, man. They've been pretty frisky. But that being said, there's no possible way that I'm going to lay points with the Grizzlies away from home. That just, to me, that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. As far as this Toronto game, my look is towards the total. I don't listen. It's like I don't know who went to the Raptors practice with a baseball bat and started just beating the shit out of their players, but I've never heard of 3 starters being out indefinitely in one day. Like, how does that even make any sense? So that being said, I'm just on the total. I got the under. I don't see where the points are going to come from without those 3 guys in the lineup. And you add to that the fact that Rui Hachimura, I don't know if you guys saw how he got injured. It says he's like out with a groin injury. He got kicked in his balls by one of his teammates, like as bad as you've ever seen someone catch like Draymond style, but worse. So he's out. I just think that all of that just leads to an under. I think that total is really high. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't want to lay that many points with the Raptors if you're asking me what side to pick. I just think that there's just too much of an unknown. Like, who can say they know what the Raptors starting lineup is going to be with that many players out? Plus, Fred VanVleet is still questionable, so like, I'm leaning definitely towards the under 230.
Yeah, and that's a sharp look there by you, Junior. And it is definitely too many points. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I told you guys with these injuries, Raptors are going to be an under machine. I look at the next game, and it's not necessarily the what I want, the team that I want them to be facing in this first game. The Wizards, who don't play any defense, 28th in defensive rating in the last 5. The Raptors are number 3 in defensive rating last 5, but the Raptors are 24th in offensive efficiency last 5, where the Wizards are 8th. So obviously the Wizards much better team. They can score better. Effective field goal percentage, all that. The defense is just terrible, man. So, and it's tough, man. I gotta swallow it. I gotta, nothing like that, man. But I gotta swallow pride here, and I think I gotta take the Wizards, man. I don't like this. I mean, the lineup for the Raptors, they're going to throw out. They probably will get VanVleet back, and if you like it, wait, because when VanVleet get ruled in, yeah, it probably go back up to 7 or something. And the Wizards, they don't have any bigs. They are 5-1 as an underdog of 7.5 to 9.5. They're coming off an OT loss. They're 8-6-1 ATS on the road. And like I said, with the Raptors, so Siakam averaged 20. He's averaged 30 these past 3 games. But just for the season, you missing 25 points per game and 8 rebounds with Siakam. With Powell, the last 5 games, he's averaged 20 points last 5. So he's been a big contributor here. The season numbers won't say it, but lately they've needed him. His contributions have went up a lot lately. And Gasol, 7 rebounds, 7 points a game, and 3 assists. That's a lot, man. In my opinion, right? I mean, Powell was starting. That's 3 starters out, man. That's tough. That's a lot of points. But you weren't a great offensive team. So I'm with you there, Junior. And I'm gonna have to figure out which one is the better play, the under or the Wizards. Both of them could hit. I don't think that the Raptors would score many points today, but if any team let them, it would be the Wizards. The Wizards don't. I mean, they do have Yamahimi. Bertans, hey, hitting them threes. But boy, hitting them threes, boy, hey. And we're gonna need that energy tonight. Bonga, Bertans, and Mahimi, they're gonna have to get it done tonight, man. And the bench, I kind of sort of look at it as a wash. I mean, the Wizards bench isn't good, but we're going to need Beal tonight. He missed a game-winning shot the last game, or it could have sent it to overtime. I think Beal going to come out with something to prove tonight. I know the Raptors are super strong at the house, but without those 3 starters, man, I think it's going to be tough for them. I think this is possibly a game that the Raptors could take an L tonight, man. Just Lowry. I mean, they definitely going to need VanVleet. I think VanVleet and Lowry will have to go off tonight. VanVleet coming back from a knee problem, he probably won't be 100%. I mean, because they're gonna force VanVleet back into the lineup today. He has to. I mean, probably not force. We know how injuries go. He probably could have played the last game, probably couldn't have, but he'll be rusty regardless. Who had missed the past 3 or 4 games. I like the Wizards in this spot, man. I'm be honest. I was surprised to see it at 7. I was like, I think that this was a winnable game for the Wizards. I thought it would be like somewhere like 3. I know they couldn't do that with the Raptors, but I'm telling you, this line is too high, man. With the offensive production that they're missing, they already weren't a great offensive team. They're just pretty much all defense now. So I definitely see that look, Julian. I might have to ride with you on that one. Total hadn't budged whatsoever. Still stuck, frozen at 230. But I just can't help myself, man. I like the Wizards here coming off that loss. They can score. They're a really good scoring team. The defense just sitting there. But it's almost like, I mean, do we really have to worry about the defense just being absolutely terrible today? Because I think buckets are going to be hard to get for the Raptors today. Siakam was the only player for them that you could give him the ball and he go get his own buckets. And you know I'm right, Junior. You know I am. We already talked about it.
He's the only one.
Goes out. This team is going to be in a world of hurt, man. We'll see tonight. I can't wait to watch this game. I do like that under though, Junior. I do like it's tough. I can't take unders with Wizards, man. I can't, but I think it's a good spot to take the under. I like the Wizards here, man. Anything to follow up on that, Junior, and then we're gonna send it to Jordan.
No, like I said, I mean, I just think it's too many points. That's why I'm on the under. I think without Siakam, like you just said, bro, like Siakam's an all-star, and they don't have another all-star on their team right now. So without him, that's a problem. And now you're talking about, listen, bro, 3 starters at 60% of your lineup. You're not going to be the same team without 60% of your lineup, because that means that guys who usually wouldn't really play are going to have to get minutes, and they're going to have to contribute in some meaningful way. So I just think that's a bad spot for me to think that the Raptors are going to cover an over of 230. And my case for the Wizards is the Wizards just don't play defense, so that makes taking the under with them in any game a little bit scary. But I just think 230 points is a lot, even with them in this game, because Rui Hachimura is out for a while, and they're already missing Thomas Bryant. They have absolutely no size whatsoever. Raptors' strength of their team is defense. I just think it's just this whole scenario plays to under 230, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it is a super high total as well. I'm gonna hop with you. I'm gonna ride with you on that one, Junior, because I mean I love the Wizards and I love the under. I don't think the Raptors don't get too many points. You guys, Raptors team total under the look as well, man. What you thinking on this game, Jordan? I know you know what I'm saying, real big with advanced analytics. Do you like the under in this spot? I know the Wizards are a total over team, but the Raptors, man, I think they're gonna be the team that makes this one go under. What you thinking, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm gonna break the tie for you guys on this one. This is one of the first games I looked at, because as soon as I heard that Pascal Siakam was out, I'm like, okay, we're taking points with the Wizards. That's a lock. And as I see it, it's ticking down a little bit. I looked at it at 6.5. I didn't take it though, and it's down to 6 and 5.5. So if you did take that, congratulations. But I am with Junior on this one 100%. If I like the Wizards taking 6, I really like the under here for a couple of different reasons. One, I don't think the Raptors are going to lose a ton defensively without the guys that are out. Norman Powell, Marc Gasol, I think are pretty much a wash going from Serge Ibaka in the starting lineup now. You got Chris Boucher and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. These guys are defenders. These guys can play some defense. Now, the problem is, however, for the Toronto Raptors is going to be dealing with the offensive laps that they have without Pascal Siakam. Look at his on-off splits on Basketball Reference. They are 10 points worse per 100 possessions with him not on the court. That is a huge number for one player. As you guys said, he's an all-star, but he's an all-star because of how good he's been on the offensive end and just how much he's continued to improve, not only from his most improved season, but even to this season now without Kawhi Leonard. The dude is just insane offensively how much he's improved. And it's going to be a really big problem for Toronto, even against this Wizards team, which does not play a lick of defense, to try to score some points. That being said, I think that the Raptors here, I think the Raptors could cover this spread still, and that's why I think I'm laying off the Wizards and going with the under instead, because I don't see the Raptors scoring more than 105, 110 points tonight. I already kind of liked the under, even with like handicapping this game, assuming everybody was going to be in. I still thought it was a point or two too high. Now you take Siakam out of the equation, you take Norm Powell out of the equation, who's been playing really well. I mean, this is a spot where the under could be a very, very good play, where neither team could reach 110 points tonight, especially if the Raptors are successful in slowing this game down, which I think is going to be their only chance. They are not going to be able to run up and down the court with the Wizards, who have been pretty efficient offensively. This season. It's just their defense has been atrocious. They still have some guys that can guard guys like Bradley Beal, especially if Fred VanVleet is back. I think that's another thing that kind of is keeping me off of the taking points with the Wizards tonight, because if FVV is back in the lineup tonight, that's 20 points a game. That takes a lot of pressure off Kyle Lowry, which I think makes him better. So the issue I think here is just you got to look at the under, as without Siakam, this Raptors offense is going to struggle. I don't know if I'm going to I don't know if I'm going to take the under on their team total. I know that's a little bit appealing, but 230 is a lot of points missing your best player. And like as a junior said, 60% of your starting lineup. Now you're talking about putting guys in the lineups, like I said, still good players, but much more defensive threats than they are offensive threats. So the Raptors tonight, man, I'd be weary if you're trying to lay the points with them and be sneaky tonight, because I think the under here, like juniors, I'm going to ride with you guys on that one. I think 230 is just way too many points, knowing the circumstances of this one.
Exactly. Yeah, it's tough for me taking the unders on Wizards, man. I understand, and y'all make perfect points. I know Siakam's gonna take a huge hit to the Raptors. I just think the Wizards gonna come out here and smack them offensively, even though they don't play any defense. I think they're gonna come out here and smack them offensively. I'm taking the Wizards, man. Like my guy M. Williams, he know what's up. He say DFW text got Wizards +7. My guy M. Williams know what's up, man. He know this is why I be going to the parlay spots. He know I know exactly what you're talking about. But I like the Wizards in this spot. We get to the next game, man. Oh, sounds like we all leaning towards Wizards and under. I'm taking the fucking Wizards. I like the under in this game as well, though. And Detroit and Boston, man. Let's get to this game real quick. Don't have a whole. Jordan, do you have anything to say about it? Me and Junior already covered it, and then we're gonna get to some more games. Just if you got something to say on this one, real quick.
I'll be super quick. Detroit is basically without two of their three best offensive threats tonight, and Boston being without Gordon Hayward and Marcus Smart, I think makes this a wash. I think 9, if you got on the Celtics early, you probably have the right side of this, but 9 is just way too many points for me to lay right now, even against this Detroit team that may be terrible tonight. So it's probably just a game I'm staying away from unless you got it a little early. I know you said you like the under. I think that's probably the best play, but once again, I think it really depends on where you got it, because where it is right now, I think it's probably a wash.
Exactly. Yeah, no Hayward in there is a huge deal to me, in my opinion. If Hayward is in and all the injuries with the Pistons, but I think that's a big deal. Hayward being out and Smart still being out, that's a huge deal. It doesn't look like it, but it is, especially laying 9 points. Let's get to this Knicks and Heat spot, man. Knicks is like a totally revamped squad. They 4-0 ATS last 4, 5-0 ATS last 5 on a Friday, 5-1 ATS last 6, 4-1 ATS as a dog of 9.5 more points this year. The Heat off of a huge revenge game. They off a 3-game road trip as well, coming back to the house. Like I said, I mean, they are 11-1 at the house and 10-2 ATS at the house, but I don't know if they should be coming back to the house off that big of a win like that and 3-game road trip, coming back laying 10 points to this Knicks team. Like I say, man, they just look like a totally revamped squad. They actually look like they care. They coming to play. They playing through injuries. You see some guys that was banged up, Julius Randle, leg. They coming to play, man, every single game. You know what I'm saying? They got their point guard back, got Payton back, man. Look, I'm taking the 10 points. I don't give a damn. That he come out here and smash them and you make the Knicks like the old team, then I'm just going to have to be cool with it. But if you don't give me 10 points, 9.5 points, I like the Knicks in this spot, man. Did like it at the 10 even more than 9.5. No, my local still don't give me the 10, but I like it even at 9.5. I think that the Knicks can keep this game within 5. They could, and like I said, the way they've been playing, they can win this game, man. The big thing is Dragic gonna come back. He is upgraded to questionable, so that's a leading indicator. He's probably gonna play. Line will probably go up another half point when Dragic's in. You can see this one closing at 10.5. I will absolutely love it, man. Dragic being in, he's gonna be super rusty. That's gonna help him out, especially with their bench scoring. But I just think this is other than Jimmy Butler and kind of sort of bam out of body, this is a super young team, man. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. This is a young team, man. So if the Knicks can come in here and play some defense, play with that same type of tenacity that they have these past 5-6 games with Mike Miller at the helm, I got to keep riding them right now the way they've been playing. I don't have to break it down too much. You can look at the stats, full game stats all you want. This is one where I'm strictly looking at the Knicks in these past 6 games where they look like a totally different team. And you're giving me double digits off of a team that's off a huge revenge game win. I'm taking it every time, double digits. Give me Knicks plus the 10. Any thoughts on that, Jordan?
I underdog initially, and I was kind of leaning towards the Knicks, and I kind of just looked at it a little bit further. And the thing that scares me and what has led me to my official play on this is just how bad the Knicks have continued to be in the first half. They've looked a lot better in full games here lately, but first halves, especially on the road, have been the death of them this season. Their offense has not been as good. Their defense has still been below average. And the Miami Heat are like the best first half team at home in the entire league. They got an offensive efficiency of over 120 in first halves at home. So I'm actually going on the first half over in this one. I got it at 110. Feeling pretty good about that because, like I said, if the Knicks defense does not come to play, if the Knicks come out flat, and are susceptible to the Miami Heat juggernaut here at home. Miami's going to score 60 points here in this first half. I don't think there's any question. The only way that that's not going to happen is the Knicks are successful in slowing them down enough. Whereas, like, obviously both teams play pretty slow, but Miami's actually been playing a little bit up in pace when they play in the first half of their home games, and that has only helped their offense be even better in this spot. But like you said, the Knicks have been actually playing really well, and they do have some matchup issues for the Heat tonight. I think Julius Randle against Myers Leonard is an absolute smash spot for them. I think he's going to absolutely take him or Kelly Olynyk or whoever the hell they throw at him to school. Now, they flip-flop and go with Bam Adebayo on him. I think that's a little bit of a different story, but I think there are some issues for the Heat here. Duncan Robinson against RJ Barrett favors the Knicks. This is what happens when you're without Justice Winslow in that starting lineup, who's a very good defender still. I'm not going to say that you're crazy for taking points to the Knicks. Absolutely not. That was my first instinct in this game. I was like 11 points, 10 points, whatever it was when it opened. Is too many points for the way the Knicks have been playing since they fired Fizdale. But on the road in Miami, man, that's such a tough spot for anybody, let alone a Knicks team who can't play that much defense even now, especially in the first half of games on the road. I just think that the over here is a really good spot because I do think the Knicks can exploit them and get 52, 53, maybe 55 first half points. If that happens and the Heat are up towards 60, obviously love the first half over in this one. I'm on it for a unit, might jump on it for another one here after we get off the show, depending on where it goes, but it is ticking upward a little bit. I think it's up to 110 and a hook. A couple shops got it at 111, so feeling pretty good about that one here as one of my official plays of the day.
Yeah, and the Heat been playing down to competition as well, man. I know they beat the 76ers, lost to the Grizzlies. I know that was a little tough spot there. Went to OT versus Dallas. I mean, Luka got kicked out of that game. They was up 20. It let the Mavs come all the way back and maybe go to overtime. Their last 4 home games before the Lakers, they played ATL, the Bulls, and the Wizards. All 3 of those, they came out. I'm talking about lackadaisical, man, and had to win that game in the second half. All 3 of those games, obviously other than the Lakers. You're going to get up to play them at your house. That was a damn game. But the 3 before that, ATL, Chicago, and Washington were much worse opponents, and the Heat just took them lightly. Came in not giving a shit. Led the half 1 point or even down at the half, and then they'll come back and win the game. The game versus the Hawks, they deserved to lose that game. Came back and covered it in overtime. So I'm hoping that the Heat play down to their competition again, coming off a huge win. I like the Knicks here plus the double digits. What you thinking in this game, Junior?
I'm with Jordan. I had this is one of my official plays. I got the Heat -6 in the first half, just because of. I'm actually going to touch on something you just said. You obviously know I had 2 of those 3 home games that you were talking about. I had Miami in those situations. I actually had Miami full game versus the Lakers, but they covered that plus the points. But it's something I wanted to allude to. Even with those 3 terrible first half home performances, their offensive rating in the first half at home is still like 122, per 100 possessions, which is insane. So I just think in this specific spot against the Knicks, I'm only taking the Heat first half because I'm just worried about their ability to cover full game. The way they've looked lackadaisical in some of those games that I've seen, I think if they have a big lead late, the fact that the Knicks are the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the NBA to me is a big deal. Jack, coach a high school team. The 2 games that we've lost this season were 6-2. We got our asses destroyed on the offensive boards because if you get a lot of offensive rebounds, you're just getting extra possessions. Extra possessions means you don't have to shoot as well to be able to pull it out. So I just think that the Knicks, the fact that they have so many bodies that crash the glass with Barrett and Randall and big man coming off the bench. His name escapes me right now. Robinson. They got just so many bodies that crash the glass that I just think it's too many points to lay with a Heat team that's exactly what Jay Money said. In full game situations, they've basically had to flip their switch with like, oh shit, we're the better team. We got to get serious and come back in these games against teams that they have no business even being close with. So I won't lay the full game points. But I just think they've been so dominant in the first half all season long that they're going to get their act together because their next 2 home games after this are against the Jazz. Next 3 home games are against the Jazz, the Pacers, and the 76ers. So if they come out lackadaisical in those games, they're going to lose. So I just think that this is a get-right spot for the Heat. I'm a big Heat guy. I've been cashing tickets with them all season. I'm not gonna get off them just because they had a couple of bad games.
Exactly. Yeah, they are coming off a huge game, though. They are coming off a huge one, man. They meant a
Yes.
lot to them. I'm not sure if they're gonna get up for this one the same way. That's the only thing that I'm saying. So I'll let you guys. So Jordan, did you have a play on this Mavericks 76ers, Suns, OKC, or Minnesota Denver game? Did you have a play or any one of those, or have anything to say about any of those? Karl Anthony Towns is still questionable as well. You definitely need to know if he's gonna play, whether you're betting on or fading the Timberwolves. It's definitely a key injury.
No, I don't have anything on those three games. I do have one on one of the later games, though. I'll be real quick because I know we got to get out of here. I'm taking 2 points with Orlando in the first half on the road in Portland. John Isaac looks like he's going to play. That's a pretty big deal because he's going to shut down Carmelo Anthony tonight. Write that down, pin it up at the top, whatever you want to do. But we've talked about Portland being very susceptible to good front courts. You're throwing John Isaac, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Vucevic at this front court. I think that's an absolute smash spot for Orlando. I think they could even come away with the lead here in the first half. I'm a little weary of them on the game because the guard play in this game obviously favors the Portland Trail Blazers. So we know guard play is extremely important late in games, obviously situationally. CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard versus Markelle Fultz and Evan Fournier obviously favors them. But I think in the first half, if Orlando can control the pace, control the boards in this one, I actually think they're being a little bit undervalued here in the spread, and I'm actually a little bit surprised to see it tick upwards from 3.5 to 4 here. I think I might actually have a chance to get on Orlando +4 here, but a little weary of how their offense has looked a little bit here, obviously at times, especially on the road. Their defense isn't as good on the road as it is at home, but first half, that's actually been a little bit different. Their first half defense on the road has actually still been pretty good this year, so that's why I'm leaning towards them here in the first, I took the points with them here in the first half.
I love that, Jordan. I absolutely love not the first half, but I like the magic in this game. But I'm gonna let my God Junior go. Any of these last games that you have anything to say? I know you're not touching that Pelicans versus Warriors, but and I'm finna get into this magic spot. I got shit to say about this one, but I'm gonna end it with that. So, what's your last plays, Junior? You can recap what you got for today.
Yeah, I'll be super quick so everybody could get in. My plays for the day, I got the under 230 in the Raptors game. I got the Celtics first half full game. I got the Heat -6, and I got the under 216 in this Denver game. The first time these two teams played, they combined for 198, and that game went into overtime. And the most important part of that game to me was the fact that the Nuggets absolutely control the pace of that game. It was played at a pace of sorry, I'm losing my voice. It was played at a pace of like 97 maybe. And the Wolves play at a pace usually of like 104 per 100 possessions. So it was played at Denver's pace. Now you're going into Denver. Karl Anthony Towns is questionable for the game. I don't like this just matchup at all for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think the Nuggets, who play with the second slowest pace in the league, playing at home, are definitely going to play this game really slow and slow down what Minnesota likes to do. Because at the end of the day, the Nuggets, the Wolves, they're not a team that shoots a good percentage from three. They're actually second from last in the league in 3-point percentage, but they're ninth in the league in makes because they play at such a fast pace. So if the Nuggets can slow them down, they'll stop the Timberwolves from being able to score points, which I think plays towards the under 216. I think it's a lot of points for this game.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. Just so Jordan, did you want to recap your plays before I end it?
Yeah, real quick. I'll go backwards here. I got Orlando +2 in the first half. I'm with Junior on under 230 in Washington and Toronto, and then I have the over 110 in the first half of New York, Miami.
Bet. Yep, my best looks are there. I like the Kings +5. Like I say, still waiting on Bogdanovich to be in for that one. But I hope he's gonna definitely need Bogdanovich in there for. Even though they got Fox back, I still need Bogdanovich in there. But I think that this is more of a bet against spot for the Pacers coming off a huge win versus the Lakers. They got the Bucks on deck, so that's sandwich spot there like an ice cream sandwich. And then like I say, with Lamb and Warren doubtful. This not good recipe for the Pacers Pacers there. I like the under in Detroit and Boston game. No Hayward, no Smart. That hurts the under. But without Luke Kennard and Griffin, that's a huge part of Detroit's offense, who are already a good offensive team. The players that they got coming in are all defensive players, man. I like the under in that game. We know that the Celtics going to bring their defense as well. Hadn't really been pushing the pace. Kemba Walker shoot a lot of threes, but other than that, they don't really they're not really a great scoring team. If Howard's in there, I wouldn't be looking towards it. I like the Wizards there, man. Plus the 6, plus 6.5. I think this is a winnable game for them if their offense can stay hot like it has been. If Bill come in pissed off, miss the game winning shot, he say he can't play perfect every game. If you guys play props, you definitely look towards Bill, man. When you have a player like that coming off a tough shot there, definitely have to look towards him in the next game. I like the Wizards. Leaning towards the under now. I think Junior going to get me on that one. I like the Knicks plus the 10, man. It's down to 9.5 now, but I still think you can get the 10 once the draw gets probably announced in. I like the Knicks to come in there and be scrappy like they have been. And I want to get to this Magic spot, man. My guy Jordan had some real great info on that one. Both of these teams are 12 and 16. Which one do you think are the better team? Who has been playing better? And see, the Magic, I definitely don't look at their record like that. Who has been playing better of late? Don't like that they're coming off back-to-back altitude games, which both of them they were in. I mean, both of those, they damn near beat them. I know versus the Nuggets for sure, they was up in their game and then just fell apart in the second half, man. You can't do that. But they've been coming to play these last games. You look at the last, so they're 1-5 the past 6 games. The Magic are. You look at their losses. Denver, I mean, they were up against Utah too, man. Came back, and I can't believe they didn't cover their spread, bro. The Magic was finna beat the Jazz. That was crazy. So Denver, Utah, they beat the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Bucks. They've been playing much better teams, man. They've been taking some close losses as well. I think this is a beatable team for them. This is the last game of the road trip. I don't like that. Like I say, coming off 2 altitude games, but I just think that the Magic are the much better team, much better defense, even their offense. I think their offense, they're 4-0 ATS last 4 versus a losing team, and they were outscored 39-16 in the third quarter versus the Nuggets. That's all the quotes were coming out about. They got to play a full game. The Blazers, just real quick, 1-6-1 ATS last 8 following win, 1-6 ATS last 7 Friday games. That's crazy. 1-4 ATS after straight up win. They have won 5 straight versus Orlando, and Dame had 41 points the last 2 games, but those are different Blazers teams. They had Nurkic then. Right now, it's Lillard and McCollum, and that is absolutely it. If they can shut them down, the Magic will win this game, man. I like them plus the 3.5 for the full game. Probably could get 4. Went up to 3.5. Went up to 4.5. Come right back down 3.5. I think this is a Magic spot. They're a much better team than the Blazers, and I hope they show it tonight, man. I hope we get some cash and let's keep the streak going, man. Past 8 days been absolutely red hot. Let's keep it going, man. We making the bookies pay for all this Christmas shopping, man. Leche, hey, Los bookmakers.